Welcome to Lofo's Lounge, where I sit here and talk, and you guys listen for no apparent reason at all. It is Tuesday, 11:12 p.m., January 21st. And not gonna lie, this is my second glass of wine. So, you know what happens when I get to drinking, I get in my feels. I start thinking, getting in this brain, and feeling things, you know? I feel like that's all of us. You get a couple drinks in us, and all of a sudden you open up, you just start talking, you're letting things flow. So I thought, why not pull out the laptop, pull out the ring light, pull out the microphone? Hopefully, this is on. I think it's on. And just start blabbing away. I got the little music in the background. Shout out to Flawed Mangoes because he's got the best background music in the world. We're drinking some Chateau Ste. Michelle Riesling, and if you don't know, that's the best wine in the world. I don't know if that's true. I've not had every wine in the world, but as of this far, this is my favorite wine. So cheers. So, what's the topic, you ask? Well, I talked about it on my live earlier and had a bunch of questions. So, we're going to talk about love. And I think I've talked about it before, but I've experienced a whole new world of love. And I'm just going to go ahead and just vent, let my feelings out, and just talk about it, you know? So the question was brought up, a couple of questions. I should have wrote them down, honestly, now that I think about it. But who thinks? Not me. That's why I'm here. That's why I chat. How would you describe love? And that's a deep question because it can be answered in many different ways, many different concepts of love. Because when people think about love, you just think about, like, oh, a woman and a man, or man and man, woman and woman, you know, just your significant other. When there is a friendship love, there is a love between family members, there's a love to be shared with religion. There's so many different ways of love, and people pick and choose just their relationship with their significant other because that's the first one we think about. That's the epitome of love. It's like I have my significant other, I'm in love with them, and that's it. We forget about all these other types of love, but when I think about love, I do think about Caitlin. I don't. She's gonna get mad when I say her name. Maybe she's not. But oh well. The wine's flowing. I'm just gonna talk. I think about Caitlin. I think about her every single day, every second, every hour, and it's almost annoying how much I think about her. And I know it's love because her cat's going crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear the scratch in the back, but I know it's love now because when you think about somebody who can inspire you to be better and to be able to do things that you never be able to imagine, that's that's kind of the start of what love feels like for me. Because as a adult now, I'm 29 years old. I'm almost 30, y'all. I am almost 30. It's depressing to say, but I thought I hit a wall. I thought this is it, you know? I'm gonna work a job, I'm going to never really get to the point of a career that I want. I'm just gonna settle. I'm gonna live in. I moved to New York City. That was a big thing. That was my big accomplishment in life, was moving to New York City and surviving. You know, surviving. That's the best word to put it, is surviving. Because you move to New York and you're paying all this money to live here, and you're not really doing much with your life. You're just, unless you make it big, making $1 million, you're not really doing much up here but surviving. And coming from the small town that I did, I believe that that was it. That was my big story. And a couple people from home, a couple family members and stuff, they're like, "Oh, he's big time." My sister said I'm high class now. And if she listens to this, she's gonna kick my butt too for calling her out. But she said I was high class, which, in her words and terms and phrase, that's an insult, because she used it in a sense that I was too good, or too high class for my group of family. You know, the cat's got the zoomies. It's distracted me. She's doing her thing. She wants some attention. I'll give it to her. But high class is an insult because coming from a small town Kentucky, nobody's really high class. You're just kind of there. So I countered it and I said that's kind of a compliment. I worked my tail end off. I worked my ass off to get to where I want to be. And even though it's not like ideal, it's what I want, you know? But I met Caitlin and I'm back into college. I'm pursuing bigger dreams now. Not for me anymore. It's for us. It's for our relationship. And to go along with love, it's something that's selfless. Because my thoughts used to be me, me, me. I'm going to go do this. I'm blah, blah, blah. Just a selfish way of thinking. And now it's, what can I do to make us better? What can I do to provide for the future? And now I have a selfless way of thinking because my heart's so open to the thought of potentially like more, you know, like family style thinking. And a couple years back, you never think like, oh, I'm going to think about a child. No, it was, I don't want those kids. I don't want to do anything but to make my life better. So now I got somebody who's inspiring me, who I'm being selfless for. And there was a couple other questions that I don't really think of, but I'm just going to keep venting. I'm just going to keep drinking and venting. So if you guys have something to do when you're listening to this, just skip. Or if you are in your feels too, grab a glass of wine, go ahead and listen, because I'm just going to be venting for the next 20 minutes probably. Maybe more, maybe less. We'll see. This is the second glass, so whenever this is done, that's when we're going to stop. We're going to call it there. Should I take a big drink and just end it now? No, we're going to sit here and chat. But love is crazy. You know, I thought I loved before, and it was a baby bit of love. I would say that. I don't think I was ever in love. You know, I know I was never in love. And there's a huge difference between loving and being in love. And once you cross that line, you finally understand that you don't know if you were actually like head over heels for that other person. Because love is being like so in love that you'd still love that person even if they didn't love you. Like if Caitlin texted me right now and said, I don't know if I could do this, it would destroy me. It would absolutely destroy me, but that doesn't mean I'd stop loving her. And I think that's important because that's how I know that I'm madly in love. Like she could say the worst thing right now and it would not change my feelings at all. Because I don't think you really stop loving somebody ever, even when people are calling you crazy. Like I knew I loved her right from the beginning, and I told my best friends, and it was probably a couple weeks to a month in it. I was like, yo, I love this chick. And they're like, yo, you're crazy. You're stupid. You're just being a lover boy. And a lot of people will shy off from that. When they hear that, like, other people's judgment, they're going to be like, okay, maybe you're right. But I sat there and I was like, no, it's different. I am head over heels. I love this person. And I think when you can sit there and like reason with yourself and say, hey, like, yo, this is real. Especially when all of your friends, like your best friends, are telling you that you're a little crazy and you can tell them that you're not. That's a big step. That's what love is. That's what love is. What else? With love, there comes heartbreak. I think we all got to experience a heartbreak before we can fall in love. And that's really the hardest part of love, in my opinion. Because if you don't experience a little heartbreak, you can't appreciate the love. So when your heart is broken, when you're down bad. Yo, this cat is going absolutely bonkers. I'm trying to be in my feels, Autumn. Chill out. When you experience heartbreak, it is devastating. It's got you down bad. Like, there was a point one time, I think I sat in my room for 4 days straight. I just Uber Eats everything. Uber Eated? What's the proper term for that? Uber Eat? I don't know. I ordered food off of Uber Eats for like 4 days straight. I didn't leave. I didn't move. I called out of work. And physically and emotionally, you're just drained. You can't think. You can't physically move. It's so hard to deal with heartbreak. And oftentimes people will feel that and they'll just cower away. They're never going to try again. They're not going to trust again. It breaks you, like your conscience. It breaks you mentally. I thought for a period of time that I was never going to date again. I was never going to trust another woman. I was never going to get locked down again. And I think it's funny how we use that term, locked down. Like, there's two ways of... Chill out, Autumn. Goodness gravy. We say we lock in. And I worked in a prison. I've probably said that many times. But I worked in a prison and we lock people up. And we sit there and say locked in when we talk about our love too. Which I find so funny because you don't want to be locked in. You don't want to be cuffed up. We use all these phrases when we're talking about love and being in feelings like, oh, you're cuffed up. You're locked in. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, we got to start changing these phrases. I don't know where I was going with that, but now that I think about these phrases that we use, they're so negative. They got a negative connotation of when we speak about something that should be passionate and like the best thing about our life. Pause, drink. But, another question that somebody asked me. They said, can love, I don't remember the specific question, but can the relationship be salvaged? I want to say salvaged. If somebody cheats. Laundry's done. And my answer was initially no. I don't think you can sit there and say you love somebody if you're willing to cheat on them. But there's a double-sided sword because I think everybody makes mistakes too. Now, depending on how far they go with the cheating, that's a different talk. But everybody makes mistakes, and I'm not saying that to go out and cheat and say it was a mistake, but I see how both sides of the story can work. One, you'd have to be willing to open up. You'd have to be willing to do what that other partner says that they need done to be able to trust that relationship. Two, if the trust can never be fixed, I don't think it can ever be salvaged. You can't sit there and do something like that and then have the person trust you. It will take an eternity to fix that. So that was another question that I was talking about, that I was thinking about. When you think about love, it's never disposable. It can never be thrown away. It's always going to like sit there. It's worth fighting for. And I think it's funny right now because she's going to get so mad when she hears this. But we are in our first fighting / we're not really fighting, but we're arguing. We're getting into these little like bickers where we're calling each other out and kind of essentially putting blame on one another, which I find to be good because that means we're able to fight and show appreciation and love that we do care about each other and that we're not willing to just throw it away when something becomes inconvenient. A lot of people will disagree, but I think arguing, having talks about something that's uncomfortable with each other is a good thing. And if you're never having these talks, if you're never bringing up the discomforts or something that's making you uncomfortable, then I don't know if you guys are passionate about each other. And we're going through that right now. This is our first stage with it. We've never really argued. We're 6, 7 months into it, and this is just now happening. And we moved in together. First month, in my opinion, it was amazing. You can ask her. I might bring her on here next time to see what she says. But first month is just the best thing ever. And I mean, every minute with her is amazing. But it really is when you get to look at your partner every day and you get to look them in the eyes, you get to hold them, you get to kiss them, you get to just be with them every day. It's so great. It's amazing. And you just fall more and more in love with them. And then comes the inconvenience of the small things that they do that bother you. And there's things that, I know there's things that I do that are just bothersome. And she's the most genuine angel in the world. And she's not going to call me out directly. But she's been stressed a little bit. And it's getting to her. Like, I think it's more work. But she's starting to call me out. I love it because it means she loves me. But I just think it's funny. I love when she's mad. She hates it, but I love it. Drink time. But my point is, if you're willing to fight for something, then that means it's true. Because we're never just going to throw something away that we care about, you know? I thought I was in love before for a little bit. And then I realized I wasn't. Like, she's gone right now. That's why I'm on here. I got some time. I got some free time. So I'm able to chat and talk to myself on a computer. But I genuinely just miss her presence at all times. And I never felt this way before. I never ate. I never sat here and just crave somebody. And that's a weird thing to say, like, out loud. But I genuinely, like, my body is just craving her. It's like an addiction. It's like a drug. It's like once you get so much of something, and I've never done a drug. I'm a preference ad. I've never done a drug. But I can understand that craving because I am, like, I get that itch. I'm like, yo, it's been 36 hours. When are you coming home? And I know she feels the same way because she texts me. She blows my phone up. She is, when are you coming home? I miss you. And that makes me feel great. But I never understood it before now. And now that I do, it's a crazy feeling. It's almost stupid. Like, I feel just genuinely a little crazy, to be honest. When you could sit here and say, like, I'm in pain. I need you. And there's no, like, physical pain. It's just it's up here, first off. But it's also in here. This is my left side. This is my heart right here. Drink break. We're getting to that point. We're at the halfway. I still got some bottle left. I might finish the whole bottle tonight. We'll see. But I said I was going to talk until we finish this glass. So we're going to keep talking. What else? Love is, like, with your friends. I sit here and say, I love my friends. I tell every single one of them that I love them. And some people find it weird. Like, my best friend Connor, he knows now that he's got to say it. Because I won't end a phone call without saying it. I won't leave his side without saying it. And I'm like that with all of my friends because, sadly, within the past year, we did lose somebody that was close into the group. And I did not get the chance to verbally say that to him. And it sticks with you because me being that person that loves to say it, that will sit there and tell a person, even if they're the most uncomfortable, telling their friends that they love them, I'm going to say it. I'm going to make them say it. I'm going to hug them. I'm going to say, I'm not letting you go until you say it. I believe that everybody that you care about needs to hear it from you every time that they hang up the phone, every time that they leave your side. Like, I love you. I need you to know that I care about you. That's so important to me because I don't know, just it's a feel good thing, you know? Like, imagine that person never ever hears it from anybody. They're not in a relationship, they don't have a good family setting at home, but they have a good friend that's willing to say it. It means something to them. So I'm a big believer of telling somebody that they're loved. And Connor knows it. That's my best friend. I don't know if I've ever gotten to mine and Connor's friendship. I'll save that one for another podcast. We'll get him on here. We'll make him talk. But I'm getting to that point where we're 21 minutes in. I don't like to have long episodes because I'll sit here and chat all night, and you guys will usually get annoyed by this time. Usually people will tune out. But I'm gonna leave it off with a comment. And love in a whole, I feel like everybody deserves it. And it's out there for everybody. And I know that I'm in love because I'm much better with her than I am without her. She's like everything that I'm not. She's an angel. She's kind-hearted. She is everything that you want in a person. She works hard. She is, I don't know, when you walk into a room, you notice her. I look her in the eyes, and there'll be a room full of art. She's the only thing that I notice. We went to the aquarium the other day, and she's so amused by these animals. Just, oh, look at this fish, look at this turtle, look at this shark. And I am just mesmerized by her. And it says something that I've never really noticed, but when you can just lock in and the only thing that you notice in a room, in a full room of whatever else is around, and that person is it, that speaks volumes. I pray that everybody finds their person. I pray that everybody is able to feel what I'm talking about. I pray a lot, actually, but that's a good thing, you know. I think everybody deserves it. Everyone in this world is made to love, made to feel feelings, and made to have a crazy cat that runs around. You know, I never. Yeah, okay, so this is another thing. I don't tell Caitlin. I don't think she'll listen, but don't tell her. I don't like cats that much, but I love this cat now. This cat, I've always been one to like shear off cats, like, yo, get away from me, like, don't do that. Now I'm doing everything in my freaking hands. I don't know if that's the right word, but we're gonna blame it on the alcohol. I sit there and feed this cat. I give it snacks. I'm rolling around on the floor to try to make it like me. And cats are so like prissy. But today of all things, this cat is rubbing up against me. I think we're friends now. We're definitely friends. So again, putting other things before your own preference, sheer sign. And with that being said, I'm going to finish this glass. And I probably need to go to bed because I have to be up early. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I should have a couple people that are wanting to be guests on here soon. So we're going to have some conversations, some interviews. If she wants, I'm going to go ahead and get the girlfriend on here. That'll be a fun episode. We'll see if she tunes in. But anybody that listens, I appreciate you all. You all are the best. I love you all. Have a great day. Have a great week. Tune in next time on Lofo's Lounge. Peace out, y'all.